Welcome to this video about how to create free thumbnails using your Shotcut video editor. So the first thing I wanted to show you is that if you come over here to YouTube and you do a search for make free thumbnail, you will see that you will get tons and tons of videos come up about how to make free thumbnails, and the majority of them will be about how to make thumbnails online or on your phone. The top 4 are about how to make thumbnails for your videos online. This guy here shows you how to do it with Photopea. This guy here shows you 3 of the top online graphic websites. This guy here shows you how to do it with Canva. This guy here also shows you how to do it with Canva. And so there's lots and lots of them. There's not that many that show you how to create a thumbnail with your video editor. There are some, but you got to keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling until you find one, unless you search for it specifically. Now, the only one that I could find that was about how to create a thumbnail using Shotcut was not that easy to understand. So that's why I created this video about how to make a free thumbnail using your Shotcut video editor. So let's go over to Shotcut right now. Okay, so let's go to our search, and there we go. There's Shotcut right there. Let's open up Shotcut, and here we go, Shotcut. Now, the first thing I want to let you know is that you can create a thumbnail in just about any video editor that can take a still shot or save to a picture file like a JPEG or a PNG. In Shotcut, you can export to video, but you can also export a still frame, and I think the default is to export to a PNG. And so that's how we're going to be able to create our thumbnail in Shotcut. Now, you can import a video that you've recorded and pause the video wherever you want to do your thumbnail, or you can snap a picture of yourself on your phone and create your thumbnail that way, or you can do like what we are going to do, and you can create your own little video to work with from right here within Shotcut. And the way that you do that is you're going to create a video clip, and we're going to start with just a basic color video clip. So you go over here, you click on open other, and then click right here on color, and it's going to open up the color window. And you see that right now the preset is set to transparent. So we're going to click on color, and then we choose a color. Now, I like to choose something bright that stands out, like yellow or red or orange or something like that, that really catches the eye. But since we're doing a YouTube video about YouTube thumbnails, I decided to go with red. So you click OK, and you see that our color has changed to red. So you click OK again, and it will import the clip into our player. And you see that that timer went right there, and the default is a 3-second video clip. So when we drag this clip into our timeline, it'll create a video track for us, and it's kind of small because it's only a 3-second video clip. So we're going to zoom that out a little bit where we can see it pretty good. And if I play that clip right now, I'm just going to push the space bar and play the clip. You see it'll play our video for 3 seconds. So it's just a simple color video clip, 3-second clip that we've created, and this is going to be our background. So what we want to do is we want to add something on top of our background. We want to add another layer. So we're going to go over here and click right here, and we're going to add another video track on top of the background track that we already have to add another layer. And in this next layer, we're going to open a layer of text. So you go open other and you click text, and the text that we are going to type in is going to say make free, and we're going to put free in all caps, and then I'm going to hit enter, and then I'm going to put thumbnails exclamation point, and then I'm going to hit enter again, and then I'm going to type with colon, and that's going to be our text, and we're going to click OK, and that brings us to our text right here. So that's our layer, and our next step is to take our layer and drag it down into our second video track. And so now that we do that, we see that we have some new text on top of our background, but we don't want it right there at the bottom, and we can move it around here, but we also don't want that color either. So we want to make some changes to this text, and what we want to do here is, first of all, we want to not use the font size. Let's move this up a little bit. We want to change our colors. Now on a red background, I like to use a color of a font that stands out, that kind of contrasts it. So I'm going to use yellow, and that's going to change our font to a yellow color. And then I like to do an outline on my font that makes the font stand out. So I'm going to choose this blue color, and you can make the thickness of the outline. I like to make mine very high. The highest that you can make it is 30, but I don't like to go all the way to 30. I like to go down to about 25, and you can't see it really good now, but when we get ready to make the font bigger, and the way that we do that is we add a filter. So you go over here and you click on the plus sign, and then go down here to size and position, click on size and position. Now if you try to size and position right now with this big window here, you'll find out that when you try to resize the text, it's going to make it very difficult to work with. So rather than doing that, I'm going to set everything back to the defaults on that. That sets it back to the defaults. Rather than that, add your size and position filter in, but then go back to text, size and position from the text window, and that'll make it easier to do, easier to work with. Now we can make it bigger. Now you'll notice that it's bigger. Now you can see the blue outline a lot easier with the text bigger. And the reason we want to make the text bigger is because not only is the blue outline easier to see, but the whole thing is easier to see from people when they're viewing your thumbnail from a phone. So something else here is you'll notice that over here everything is justified to the left while everything is centered in the middle on the player. And the way that I fix that is I go down here, and where it says horizontal fit, it's placed in the center. I'm going to click on left, and that justifies everything to the left. And I can bring that over here and center it this way, and I can still resize my text if I want to. There we go. But I want to choose a different font, and what you can do when you're choosing your fonts to make it easier to choose your font is click right here on the font button and click on this top of this window and hold your mouse button down and kind of move this window out of the way. And then when you are choosing your fonts, you'll be able to see it on this side. So I'm going to click on this font here, and as you can just use your up and down arrows on your keyboard, and you can kind of scroll through all of these fonts. And you can see that the different fonts make quite a bit of difference in how it looks on your video. And now I want to resize it some more. I want to make it as large as I possibly can so that it shows up really well on mobile phones. But more importantly, I want to make these words really very readable, because this looks good now, but whenever you get it down to a thumbnail on YouTube, it's going to be really small. So the bigger you make it now, the better it'll look on YouTube. So I think that's going to be about right there. Okay, so now I've got some empty spaces to fill. I think I want to put a YouTube symbol right here. So the way I do that is I'm going to add a picture. So I'm going to add another video track, which will add a layer where I can add another picture. So I go to Open File, and I'm going to go to Pictures, Save Pictures, YouTube, and there's the one I chose right there. So drag that picture down into your next layer, your next track, and then you see that that's rather large, so you add that size and position filter again. That one's going to come in very handy. And then you just take and resize that picture so it'll fit up there in that corner. So now instead of saying make free thumbnails, it'll say make free YouTube thumbnails. It's okay if it goes off the screen a little bit, because I want the words to kind of line up with the text. So make free YouTube thumbnails with shortcut is what we want it to say, but I'm going to say it with a picture instead of words, because a picture is worth 1,000 words. So I'm going to add another video track to add another layer so I can add another picture. And where is my shortcut? Oh, there it is, shortcut logo. First we need to drag that track on, need to drag that clip onto our track. Okay, great. Now we can add our filter and go down to size and position. So we're going to resize that. We want it to be as big as possible so that that shortcut will be readable. Actually, I want it to be even bigger, so I'm gonna make the bottom go off of the screen a little bit, because I want that to be bigger so that the shortcut will be readable. Okay, I think that looks pretty good right there. And I think I want this YouTube to be a little bit bigger, so you see the shortcut track is highlighted right now. So to go back and adjust this YouTube picture, I just click on my YouTube track to highlight it. And now I can go back and I can make my YouTube adjustment to my YouTube picture. So that's how you make adjustments. You have to highlight the track that you want to make adjustments to, and you can make adjustments to it that way. Okay, so now we see that we've got a pretty good thumbnail going right here, but we have some empty space here and we have some empty space here. So I think what I'm going to do to fill this empty space here is I'm going to add a subliminal message for people to like my video. So I'm going to add another picture there. I'm going to add a video track, and I'm going to go and I'm going to go to my like pictures. This blue thumb has a rectangular kind of shape that looks like it might fit pretty good there. This green thumb does too, but I like the blue color. I think it'll work pretty good there. And I'm going to drag that clip down onto that track. And again, that's going to be another filter that we need to add to resize that and position it. So click on size and position. Okay, great. So now we're going to resize that to fit and fill that space, so people can get the hint to give me a thumbs up and like my video. That fit just about perfect right there. So that fills that space pretty good. Now we got another empty space here, so I'm going to give people a little hint to subscribe to my channel. So I'm going to open file, and I'm going to choose this one right here. And I'm going to add another video track, and then I'm going to drag this picture down to that video track. and then I'm going to go to my size and reposition. One real quick thing before I size and reposition this, one of the filters that I want to show you that is pretty cool. There's a lot of filters that you can explore and play with, but one that I want to show you is this rotate and scale. So if you add this filter rotate and scale, you'll notice that there's this rotation thing here, and if you see that as I move it, I can rotate the picture. So if you were ever wondering how people do that with their thumbnails, well, that's how they do it. Alright, so I'm going to remove that filter. The way you do that is you just click the minus sign, and I'm going to go and I'm going to click the add button, and I'm going to add that size and reposition, and I'm just going to size this down to that corner right there to fill that blank space. That looks pretty good right there. Okay, so now that you have your thumbnail looking just how you want it, you're going to go over here to File, click on Export Frame, and I'm going to save it as this one right here, Shortcut PNG. It says that one already exists. Do you want to replace it? I'm going to say yes. Okay, so now if we go to that folder and we open up that file in our pictures, we'll see the finished product. Listen, if this video helped you out, then go ahead and give me a thumbs up right here and like the video. And I don't do videos all the time, but I am going to be doing them more often. If you want to get updates, then click the subscribe button and subscribe to my channel so that you can get updates. And thank you for watching the video.